Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast. Pull up a bar stool and join us for a random conversation, guaranteed to make you think or your money back.
Okay, that's Chris exercising there.
Getting the energy levels high.
Welcome to the Chris and Sam podcast for the week of, well, it's the end of October. And a year
Episode 54.
Yeah, a year ago. 6 days.
Was our first one.
It was the very first one.
Woohoo!
So the podcast
Happy
is officially.
birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. President. Oh, whatever.
That's
Anyway,
very
moving on.
creepy. Very disturbing. Sorry about that. I didn't know he was going to do that. I'll leave it in.
I just did it because this look on his face when I started doing it. That's awesome. Anyway.
So we've got a lot of stuff to get through in this episode. A lot of it revolves around Chris and his trip to Armageddon.
Yeah.
And some other things that I don't really know what they mean.
So if you, just so you know, we have like a Trello topics board that we just jump in on our phones or whatever during the week when we have something go, ooh, got to talk about that in the podcast. And so I was standing in lines at Armageddon a lot. I had a lot of time. I overtook Facebook. You know when you got to catch up all the time on Facebook? I overtook it. I was like writing shit just because there was nothing to do, nothing else to see.
It sounds like it was magical waiting in line. What were you waiting in line for?
All right, so last podcast, I was really tired. If you recall, I'd been woken up 6 hours after I went to bed to do that. We did a little bit more stuff that day. And then I drove down to a bunch of us drove down up to Auckland. We had dinner really early, and then we went in to the place at, I think, 5 or 6 o'clock. Ooh, it was so magical that it made a sound.
I know. Maybe get closer to your mic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've just about got my lips around it right now.
That's how you're supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought you just like doing that.
No.
Sorry, I couldn't help that. Okay, so anyway, we got there. We went to see the film festival.
Yes,
so
that's
there's
right.
this huge auditorium. I mean huge. You saw a photo of it. That's pointing from sort of one side, but not right at the edge, across with just me in it. But there was a whole other floor above.
This is the first year they've done the movie thing, eh?
Yeah, first time they've ever done the film festival, and they only decided to do it, a couple of months out, really. So they didn't, So there were, I would like to say there was about between 800 and 1,200 seats, and there were 20 of us watching them.
Good turnout, guys. Good turnout.
At the maximum, because people would just come and go.
Did you have to pay extra to get to that, or was it just a normal...
No, it's just part of the thing.
Yep.
But the thing was, it was open the whole time that the show was open. So if you wanted to watch all the film theatres, you didn't get to see any of the show. So we went straight in there because they wouldn't publish the order that they were shown in, and we wanted to see ours on the big screen, obviously, and stuff like that. Yeah. So we sat through all of them, and no, actually, I tell a lie. We didn't sit through all of them. When ours showed, we buggered it off because we were nearly the end anyway. I think we finished it. Our one was at between 8:30 and 8:45, and it finished at 9. The whole show closed at 9. So when ours was done, we sort of wandered off and had a quick look around the show before we had to get booted out. But yeah, so there was some really good stuff there. There was a few well-shot films. A couple of them made no sense. They were, and they weren't all New Zealand ones. I thought they were all going to be like science fiction New Zealand things. There was some quite interesting German subtitled thing on a train, and
I thought it was just going to be Kiwi short films.
Nah.
And then, like, if there was 5 of them, just show 5?
Well, there's a thing called Festival Freeway, I think it's called, and you can put your film up there, and then anyone can create a festival using the Festival Freeway platform.
Oh, okay.
And these people, and they go, so how much is... Do you know how much it was to enter the Armageddon Festival?
Oh, I'd hate to think.
$5. So that was the entry fee. So with a low bar of entry, some of them were
worth $5.
decidingly
They cost $5 to make.
Average.
Yeah.
And some of them, like, holy crap, they must have taken so much time to get that animation of that tank in the very beginning, and then the rest of the film was absolute crap.
Yeah, you can just imagine them all hunched around going, oh, the animation of that tank is the most important thing. What about the rest of the film? No, don't worry about that. Let's get this tank done.
Exactly. So anyway, it was good. Yeah, our Daredevil went pretty well there, and in fact, it's now actually we'll have a link to it in the show.
Yeah, it's
notes, right.
I've shared it around a bit as well already.
It's already been published, and it got into Geek Tyrant, which is a online magazine thing that I hadn't heard of before, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I saw that and I've linked to it. I'm not sure how big that is.
I don't know how big it is, but it's pretty cool. It's offshore anyway, I think, so that was cool. So what else did I do?
The main thing is you've signed up with a talent agency. They don't know you don't have any talent, but they've signed you up.
Yeah, and that might be why they haven't given me any work yet. Come on, it's been almost a week. It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week tomorrow.
They guarantee that you'll make your
$99 investment.
Yep, sign up fee back.
Yeah, I hope they mean they guarantee that after commission, because it's like of everything that you get paid, you probably keep 50% of it, and that's actually what we'll give you in the account. So but that's cool. I mean, I'd been thinking about it, and they were there, and they said, oh, let's do it, and we've got a cameraman here, and we can take photos right now, and we'll just do it right now. So I'm like, sweet. So they've got my agency photos of me in my freaking grubby T-shirt at freaking Armageddon.
Excellent.
Not exactly well-groomed or anything. I've still got the beard on. Actually, that was the thing. I said, normally I don't have a beard. I've only got this beard for Lazy Sunday. We're filming, because we're still filming Saturday night.
Yeah.
And I was going to get rid of it as soon as that's over. And she goes, oh, no, don't get rid of the beard. Keep the beard for now. I'm like, what? And she says, oh, no, they've got some job coming up with a film, and we need some Roman soldiers, and beards are good. So I am still sporting a very grey places beard.
Yeah, old man, crazy-looking beard.
Yeah, so that was cool. But probably the highlight for me of Armageddon was checking out Oculus Rift and the PlayStation VR. So I checked out both of those. Have you ever tried the Oculus Rift? Yeah, so for those that don't know, Oculus Rift is a TV on your face. Basically, it's a mask that you put over your eyes and you can see it. But they have two different...
And Facebook owns that now.
Yeah, two different... sensors, one for each eye, and phased so that it gives stereoscopic vision. That's the idea. I tried it. It was really funny because you're sitting on a bar stool to try this thing. Not a seat with a back. And we were going on a roller coaster, right? And you just want to tilt over. And I wonder how many people fell off these stools. Like the attendants were there all the time to try and catch them, and goes, oh, people keep falling off the stools. Well, here's an idea. Don't put them on a stool.
Yeah, it seems like a weird oversight, eh?
Oh, no, it was done by Big Pipe, who is a telecom subsidiary.
Yep.
And I just cracked me up because we're in line for ages for this Oculus Rift, and they have a big screen, and they're showing YouTube videos and all that sort of stuff. And they had in there the Star Wars kid. Do you remember how old that is? That's old, right?
It's very old, but there's a documentary about it because he pretty much got almost killed himself over it.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
Well, yeah, look, but it looks on a big screen.
It would look terrible.
Chunky. It looks horrible.
It would, because it would
stand
standard
the Nick Minutes thing. They had the Toaster Cat, which is like 8-bit freaking graphics, whatever that is. It was like these people, an old guy, older than me, old guy, who comes along and goes, well, we've got to appear hip to these kids who do this internet thing.
The interwebs.
Oh, there's a meme. Let's do some memes.
Yeah, get some memes in there. Most popular memes ever.
Yes, Google. We've got the best memes. These memes have been around forever. Yeah, like, oh my God, it was terrible. And it's like, hang on, you've got the best internet connection. That's what Big Pipe is about.
Yeah, apparently.
Shouldn't you have like the most beautiful graphics showing?
You think they'd have...
No, they had the worst.
Full HD or maybe even 4K stuff going?
No, they had the worst frickin' videos ever anywhere.
Bizarre.
Like,
You didn't end up with a free TV from them?
no,
Oh.
no, I didn't try. I don't think I entered. I forgot to enter.
I just remember Fid and them won a TV last year from them.
The guy said, "I don't forget to enter our competition on the big pipe," and I didn't go there. So anyway, so that was the Oculus Rift, and then I got to PlayStation VR, which this time I can say I played the old man card.
Did you what? Oh, let's give a controller to Chris.
So the thing with PlayStation VR was you had to book a game. So I went in first thing in the morning, Saturday morning, got there, lined up, booked a time. The earliest time I could get was 12:40. This was at 10 o'clock when we got in. So that was cool. Wandered around, did the Oculus Rift thing. And the Oculus Rift, I did an experience where you sit down and you just went through the roller coaster.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I come back to PlayStation, got there a little bit early, waited a little bit of time, got in there, and there was two options, experience or a game. I said, I'll do a game. So I sit down, he gives me a card. Now, this is where they screwed up, right?
Wow.
This is where they screwed up.
Okay.
They give me a card. And
the listeners are going to have to decide on this.
Instructions. And it says L1 tilt, L2 fire missile, I think, one or the other. R1 tilt right, R2 is fire the phases. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
And it said X to accelerate, and I think it said O to decelerate or reverse. Okay?
Yeah.
One or the other.
Sounds good.
And so I'm like, okay, right, that's cool. And that's it. That was all the instructions.
That's right, because that's all they need to give you.
Yes, exactly.
Any normal person would be fine.
I don't know what you mean. But anyway, let me get on with the story. So they put the thing on top of you. Now, this is interesting too. Neither the Oculus Rift or the PlayStation VR headset has headphones attached. They're all both separate, and you put them on over the top of the rig.
Oh, right.
Which is a bit naff, right? I think it's a bit naff anyway. So, yeah, they put the headset on, they put your headphones on. You can't see anything outside of the machine. You can't hear anything. So, and then it's before he puts the headphones on, he goes, you use the
direction pad?
Arrow keys or whatever you call it, to go left and right to pick your fighter and press X to go. And I had memorized where X is because I haven't used a controller before. And so I did that, and we launched. And it was pretty cool. It felt really good. And I was looking around, and then I saw enemies, so I tilted towards them. But I didn't tilt towards them, it just rotated. Barrel rolled.
Yeah.
So I pressed everything I could think of.
Yeah.
I pressed the arrow keys, the direction keys.
Now, this is being beamed on a TV for other people to watch.
Yeah, everybody else is in a queue watching this.
Yeah, watching the awesomeness.
I'm looking around, firing impotently straight ahead. Missile didn't do anything because there's nothing to lock, because there's nothing in front of me at any point. I smashed into a couple of debris items that I couldn't avoid because I tilted madly, but they didn't do anything. So I bounced off them. And then I was getting really quite frustrated with this, but I'm like, somebody's broken this controller. Clearly, this has been hammered.
This has been broken.
And this has been broken because it just wouldn't work. And then it was like, oh, you're going out of bounds. I'm like, what the hell am I going out of bounds? I can't turn around. And just before I died, I found there's like little knob things on springs right at the bottom of the controller.
Yeah, thumb controllers, yeah.
Those. Never seen them before in my life. And couldn't see them now because I got a bloody thing on my face, so I can't see anything. And I'm like, that controls the direction. And I started to turn around, and it said game over. And then the guy came over and said, your game's over, see ya.
I just can't believe your thumbs didn't wander down a little bit just to find them.
I was everywhere and never saw those. Never felt those thumbs. If I'd felt them, I would have tried it, but no, they weren't there.
Excellent. That's why.
So anyway,
Chris isn't allowed to play games.
The Oculus Rift, the VR thing, the PlayStation VR headset, much better. It felt much better. It was much more immersive. It was more comfortable to wear. The Oculus Rift, you could see the edges of the two eyepieces, so it took you out of it a little bit. It was a little bit front heavy. It wasn't as comfortable to wear. It had a harder, rigid rubber thing. Now, I don't know. I believe you can adjust individually those things on the Oculus, and of course, it was none of that. It was just slap it on your head.
Yeah, too bad if you can't see properly.
Yeah, whereas the VR one, you slap that on your head, the PlayStation one, and that worked fine. So definitely impressed with the PlayStation one. And now that I know they have those thumb controller knob things that you talk about, if I play another PlayStation game, which maybe I wouldn't hold your breath because if they give me a keyboard and a mouse, I would have been all over that shit. Seriously.
Yeah. Listen to it.
Anyway, because real gamers use keyboards, not controllers. So yeah, I would definitely give a thumbs up to the PlayStation VR. There you go.
You've got here useless ticketing. What happened with the ticketing?
Yeah, let's actually just ignore that. So I was a bit grumpy for the whole thing. Okay, so
it sounds like
lots of lack of sleep, as I've said.
Yeah.
I hadn't slept, and then we were out there till 9 o'clock, I think. They closed it. We got out, 9:15, and Cadell and I walked back to my friend's place that we were staying at, which was an hour. So we walked an hour to my friend's place. So we got there at 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
So it's been late nights anyway. Went to bed, got up at 7, walked half an hour into Sandringham, had some coffee and tea, walked back to the house, he goes, can you look at... Because
This is the best bit about the whole story, folks. This.
I'm going to be flying off to whatever. Can you take the sleeping bag back to my mum? I'm like, I'm not coming back here. It means I have to carry it. He goes, yeah. Okay. So it's his grandfather's sleeping bag from the war.
Made out of asbestos, I bet.
I swear it's lead-lined. It was the heaviest thing I've ever had to carry. I was like...
And he carried it all day like a champ.
So I carried it for an hour to get there. Cadell had a ticket so he could go through the gate. I went in and lined up for tickets, and the line they didn't open the ticket booth for an hour. So I stood in line for an hour, not with it on my back the whole time. I had it at my feet, but still. And then, got through the line. We got in, and then I'm carrying that bloody iron sleeping bag all day. Cadell will be listening to
and
this.
People are going, and people like probably giving you a double look and going, what's he cosplaying at? Like crazy
old man. I have my
camper?
Star Citizen T-shirt on, of course. So who knows what what they were thinking.
I've only just noticed your T-shirt. As soon as you said that,
Carolyn bought this for me.
Weekend forecast: mostly drunk with a chance of scoring.
Very, very low chance of scoring. That's my Friday T-shirt. I'm going out for a drink after this. So, so that was Armageddon. I was pretty annoyed with because the crowds it was like packed on the Saturday, ridiculously packed.
You're okay with crowds?
I usually am, but
I'm pretty good
because tired and grumpy about carrying that heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And, I was just like, and because I knew that we had to go back that night and finish our filming at the set for Lazy Sunday, and we had to clean it up so that put everything back in place so the cleaner can clean the place the next morning before the owner came back from Europe.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit paranoid about that, and I was like, this had better not be another midnight thing. But as it happens, should I tell what happened? As it happens,
yes.
We got that done. The footage, I think, looks really, really good. Our director didn't make it because he was already staying in Auckland in a hotel for Armageddon. So we did the assistant director stood in for that. But my performance was amazing. And then we cleaned up, which took a lot less time than I expected because I expected them all to bugger off and leave me to do it. So everybody pitched in. It was really good. So we got it done within an hour. And then I got a bottle of Fireball. And I want to say a deep, sincere thank you to Harley Neville for suggesting Fireball as a drink because I now love Canada. It's going to be my next. I'm going to get Canadian citizenship just because of this Fireball. So it's a cinnamon flavored whiskey, and it is amazing. You just drink it straight, and so I drank a bottle of that, which on top of the sleepiness and all the rest of it might not have been the best option.
So we're just waiting for all the drunken film of Chris to appear.
Quite a bit of video of me being amusing.
Ben, if you're listening to this, please put it together with music. Chris goes, they wouldn't have thought of that, and I was like, I'll tell them. So when you hear this, looking forward to seeing it.
Edit that bit out, but he does the editing, so I'm screwed now. So yeah, no, I think it was interesting. It's funny enough. I saw Ben last night, and I had money for him to pay for the Fireball because he bought it.
Oh right, yeah.
And I had it on me, and I forgot. So I'm sorry, Ben.
How much was the Fireball, by the way?
$55 for the bottle, I think.
Oh right.
Which is a little bit more than I probably spent because I go for the cheapest stuff.
Yeah.
But it was really, really nice.
Okay.
So that was me last weekend making a fool of myself in many, many ways.
Many aspects.
Many different levels at many different times, but still the same old Chris, still foolish.
Excellent. I signed up to the gym this week. My 2-week trial ran out. So anyway, I'm now part of the gym. I'm doing some classes. I actually have to go after this to go see some gym instructor about something to do with some machines. But I did do a body combat class with you and Tash, our other flatmate.
On Wednesday, yeah.
On Wednesday morning, and I think there was only 3 guys in that class. There was me, you, and there was another guy at the back with me.
All right.
I think, on that class. And so the ratio of females to males is quite high, and one of the females dropped her guts, smelled like she shat herself. And
which I'm right at the front, so I don't know.
He doesn't know this is going on,
and
I'm there flailing around trying to keep up, and I'm the hairy guy in a Metallica t-shirt in a class of reasonably fit people. So I'm pretty certain everyone thought it was me. So I'm sort of
very bastard.
I'm sort of looking around, and I just wanted to scream out, "It wasn't me." And that's all I needed to say because everyone knew what was happening, but I couldn't.
You should have. You should have gone, well, hell no. I'm not taking the rap for that one. That ain't me.
I know. So, I don't know. I didn't know who the likely suspect was, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate it when it happens. I mean, yeah. It's pretty bad. So how are you finding the gym? They're not too crazy, the people there yet?
Not yet, no.
Right.
Seems to be okay.
Well, that's how I found our flatmate, so you know it's coming. The crazy's coming. Well, I just wanted to talk about blab.im, just because we'd just been doing this.
Yeah, man.
So, another old man thing, really, maybe? I don't know what happened there. But we decided we'd have a look on Blab because Sam finally got his computer to work.
Because the internet's finally working.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. So he showed me Blab, and he goes, "We should do that. We should have a go now before we do the podcast. We'll go jump on this Blab." I'm like, okay. All right. I hadn't even put my computer on yet, but go on, I'll do that. So he sets up a chat room, whatever, and he's chatting away with some randoms from Nigeria and shit.
Yeah, the first person that comes on is a Nigerian teenager. And I'm like, here we go. And then he's showing me his sister walked in, his brother, and then he's like, "Are you on Facebook?" No, not at all.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm in the other room, like frantically trying to go in there, and I log in on my log in on my Twitter, except I log in the NZ Filmmakers podcast, so I had to log out and log out again and log back in and log back in again, if that all makes sense. And that's all right. And then I go in and I can't hear anybody. I go into your chat room and I can see that you're there, and it says, "Unable to connect, firewall in place." And I'm like, and the 2 people that are talking, you and this other dude,
yeah,
can't hear it,
Australian
can't see
dude.
a face, can't see a thing. So and then I jumped out of that, went to some other chats. Same thing happened on all of them. I was like, "Oh, this sucks. I'm going to go and have lunch." So I started putting lunch on. I came back and went, I wonder if the other browser would do it. So that was with Firefox. So I opened it in Chrome and it worked straight away.
It's like, weird, eh?
Damn. So I jumped in there, started chatting to Hamza.
Yeah,
was his name.
From Morocco.
From Morocco. Until I could smell burning food, which would be my lunch. So then I ran off. Again.
Had to gap it.
But blab.im, it's pretty cool. So you can have multiple people talking at one time.
Up to 4.
Yeah, up to 4. A little bit like Periscope. I don't know. I think it's like a cross between Hangouts and Periscope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Well,
actually, it's more like Hangouts.
No, it's more like Hangouts. It's like Hangouts on a web-based platform.
Yeah.
And you can chat and tweet at the same time, so
it's
pretty good. There's every marketer known to mankind's on there.
Yeah. So I just hooked up with Jody Jealous on there. So
someone I've never ever heard of.
Oh, okay. Well,
like I'm pretty good with names and
yell
hearing
out
things.
to Jody.
So.
She won't ever hear this anyway, so that's all good. But I had a chat to her on there, so it was pretty cool. And yeah, there was a lot of names I knew on there, so I will
Chris will be
stalking the hell out of blab.im.
Chris will be on there preaching his own brand of
positioning.
Stuff.
Pavlova. I couldn't think of a second word.
Yeah, positioning coach.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say the goodness that is positioning correctly. But yeah.
That's creepy ass.
Not that sort of position, dude. So yeah, talking about, so I wrote down here, did you see what I wrote?
I did see that. I was going to delete it.
Sam meets the internet, the gods cry. So
I've been having issues.
Issues. I had no idea. I come home yesterday, and you just were losing it.
Yeah, I was pretty
yelling and rah rah rah. Even your daughter was like hiding in the corner.
She wasn't hiding. She wasn't hiding in the corner. She's fine.
She was fine. She just looked at me and went, "Oh my god!" And yeah, so it was like, so no internet. I've got internet. There's no internet. Put this new computer. Waste the time buying a new computer. Why did I buy a new computer? There's no internet. Well, I should have kept with my old crap computer. It was crap, but at least I had internet.
That's right.
That was pretty much verbatim.
That was pretty much it, yeah. Well, it got frustrating because I brought another wireless adapter and plugged that in, and then that killed everything. Killed the other one, killed that one, and then I had no internet. So ended up reinstalling Windows. Had to reinstall all the programs today. And found a solution in comments on a YouTube, because a lot of the YouTube videos are just crap. But it was in the comments. Check out the comments. And it was just a DNS setting.
Yeah. I was going to suggest you create a video on that, but we're going to do that because we're going to do that as our own YouTube channel now. Yes.
Is that part of the...
That's the KFC
Project X
group.
The KFC group, yeah.
I mean Project X.
Project X, yeah.
Cal, Finney and Chris, KFC.
So
I don't know if we will or not, but we should. I think we should, because there's some crap videos out there that have actually got some good content, or the content's in the comments. And decent videos need to be made, but that is one of them. The DNS servers on Windows 10 totally screw up your internet connection when you upgrade to Windows 10. It happened to me as well. I fixed mine without screaming.
He just can't remember how he fixed it.
I can't remember.
He's just
how
like,
I
fixed it. Well, I can't remember how I did that. Yeah.
I went on YouTube.
It was something to do with YouTube. Okay.
YouTube fixed my phone, my computer. My internet's work because of YouTube. Anyway, so that was Sam. Sam's
yeah. I'm
What's
good
this
now.
BlackBerry?
Oh, so that's just an interesting little note. BlackBerry's bringing out another phone finally.
They still in business? I thought they'd gone.
Here's an interesting fact. Every touch screen that's inside an automobile, the majority of them are made and running a BlackBerry operating system.
Ooh.
So they apparently, and of course they've got all the patents for all the stuff they own, they've got a lot of money in reserves. So apparently it doesn't,
so they're not going to be going anywhere.
No, it just depends if they're going to pull out of the phone market or not.
Yeah. Okay, that's good to know.
So they've brought out this phone called the BlackBerry priv, which is short for
like a privy.
Privacy. Yeah.
It's a crapper.
It's a crapper. It's the first phone they've brought out that's running Android. So it's running It's going to come out with the new version of Android, which is called Marshmallow.
Well, that might be that might be good for them actually.
Could be. They're not sure.
Could be the corner.
But it's got a keyboard that slides out from underneath the phone. So your normal square rectangle phone, the keyboard comes out the bottom.
Which is what they originally created, back in the day, wasn't it? Because I think it was BlackBerry that did that first.
Yes, and there's people that want a physical keyboard.
Really?
You can get cases in that, but it's not quite the same. People are saying if they get this right, they'll go buy one straight away. The only downside is it's...
Is it a keyboard that comes out that side?
No, it comes out...
landscape or
portrait.
Or portrait. So portrait. That's a shame because I like those landscape keyboards where you can use two thumbs.
Yep.
Portrait's keyboard
pretty expensive phone. It's like $750 US. So it'd be like a really high spec phone though. So it's like $1,000 phone here. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see how that all goes. And we've actually run out of time, Chris.
You've got. We talk about this perfect password.
The perfect password, easy to remember. Hang on, I'll just open that because I need to quickly check out that. There's a couple of things on passwords lately. There's a girl, 11-year-old girl in America, and for a couple of bucks, she will create a strong password using the roll of dice. Anyway, that's one news story.
That's news.
Yeah.
I think I did that I want to say like in 1980.
Yeah, but no one would have been. Everyone been gone. Oh, yeah, okay, Chris, cool.
Well, I did have a whole set polyhedron dice. So
So the story I'm talking about now. These guys decided that you could come up with a password that's based on a poem, and it's easy to remember. So they've built a website. It's like a temporary thing. It's got 327,000 dictionary words in it, and the program generates very long random number, just words basically. But I just like some of them. I don't want to read them to you. The reigning Hagen journeyman believers minivan and teacher scripture bungalow or celebrator Idaho.
Yeah, that's so easy to remember.
It is, eh? Others are weird and evocative, hinting at wild stories just waiting to be made up as memory devices, and British fiction engineer Travolta captured Bombardier.
That was the password?
Yeah. Competing Holy Hemingway complies American ballet, a peanut never classified, expected branches citywide. And even though it's just random words, they reckon it's almost more secure than random things. Numbers. Yeah. So
it's a base 26 rather than a base 10.
Yeah. So you can check it out. You can try it on their website. They're not 100% secure because they're all on the internet. It's just a set number of words, so people can see the words and they'd work it out. But if you do want a really secure one, you can enter your email and the program will email you one.
Oh, wow.
Or you can just use KeyPass like we do.
Yeah, KeyPass is fine. And it's free and it's awesome. And it's awesome because I can access it on my phone, on my laptop, on my computer. Like, brilliant. And I used to even access it on my work computer. And then I killed it off my work computer when I had to give my work computer back, which is even better. Because otherwise, I know my boss would be still stalking that crap.
He's probably stalking you now listening to this. Hey, Chris's old boss.
He probably is.
Thanks for listening. You've got a year's worth of stuff to catch up on. So you want to do that at the chrisandsampodcast.com. On Twitter, if you want to see what we're doing there, Chris and Sam Pod. Facebook, just look for the Chris and Sam Podcast. And have I missed something?
No.
Look for us on iTunes.
We haven't got anything on Instagram.
No, not too worried about that at the moment.
Yeah, because we're not really beautiful to look at.
No.
So, if we were looking like in Lewis Howes's house or something like that, or maybe even a Jody Jealous, then, we'd be on Instagram, but we're not, so we don't. What are you doing?
Checking email. Sorry, I better go now. I've got distracted.
Yeah, all right. So we'll catch up with you next time. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Bye.
See ya.
Hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe and we'll catch you next week. Don't forget to tell your friend.